Hey guys, it's Mel. Okay, I wasn't intending this to be my next video, but I'm here and I got a lot of photos to take. So I am back taking more photos. Well, I'm going to chat to you about a few things that have been on my mind. And this might end up having to be one of my regular types of videos because doing these cages, I have just got so many books in the waiting to photograph pile, and if I want to try and keep up with if I want to try and keep up with making videos for you guys, then I think I'm going to have to be doing a few more videos where I'm actually talking while I'm working, because trying to get a video out every 2 days while I'm trying to also run my eBay store and grow my eBay store to like double the amount of sales this year. I'm only a one-man band, and making the videos every 2 days, I lose every second day to kind of editing and stuff. So I'm just going to make more while I'm working, and I hope that's okay. So today what I'm doing here is I am photographing a whole stack of Mills and Boon. And not only have I got Mills and Boon here, but I just went through one of the cages, well, some of the cage anyway, opened up a new cage, and there was a stack of gardening books in there. And so I thought, oh my goodness. So I've picked out about 100 of the gardening books that I haven't comped them or anything. I don't think they're not like super high books, but I think they're of a high enough standard that I can put them straight into my store. If I was to comp every single one of these books in the cages, one, it would take me forever, and two, it would probably mean that just too many of them wouldn't be hitting the metrics. And I'm kind of aware of that going into this, and I'm working on volume while I've got these cages, just getting the ones that I think will make a minimal kind of profit on them, and then getting them up as quick as I can. Like it's all about getting through them as quickly as I can. And I'm really conscious I've got all these cages of death pile, and I know that Tom needs about 4 of these cages back in a matter of a few weeks for a haul that he's got incoming. So I'm quite conscious that I've got to get through them. And some of the cages, even if I'm just sorting them and kind of putting them into piles around so I've got them, it's about sorting through and finding out which ones I want to keep and which ones I don't. And then as I get some stacks that are easy to come in here and photograph, that's the plan. But I've got this whole bench here of Mills and Boon, and it's just been taking up space on the second shelf down here of the waiting to photograph pile. And I just thought, look, I'm just going to do all these Mills and Boon all at once, because I haven't had any fresh ones going into the store for a while, and I've got a lot of repeat customers that come in and buy these Mills and Boons. So hopefully by putting some fresh inventory into the store of books that I know are popular and in high demand, hopefully we'll get a few more sales. Now normally I make my Mills and Boon bundles a little bit smaller than this, but this time I'm just kind of going to go for a bigger bundle at a slightly higher price and test the waters. I've got more Mills and Boons from a big haul that I got, I don't know, before I moved, and it's sitting at home in my home garage. I haven't even brought it over because I was about to move. I was like, no, I'm not even bringing it over. So I don't know how many there is there, maybe like 500 of them or something. So I just thought if I can get these ones done now. Oh, that one's a double up. Right. Okay. Now the other thing I found was I've got about 100 gardening books that I picked out. Did I just tell you that? So yeah, I'm going to, after I've got these Mills and Boon, I'm going to photograph all these gardening books, and I'm just going to put all the gardening books onto one shelf. Hold on, I got distracted. Yep, I did take that. I'm just going to put all the gardening books onto the same shelf if I can, like a brand new shelf. And by doing that, then I can kind of track it as well for a few months and just put them up there individually, see how they go. And then in a few months, if they look like they're just being really slow sellers, then what I'm going to do is then I might start to look at bundling them up. But I can look at bundling them a little bit later than having to, like, the bundles take more work. You can see I've got to do all this wrapping. I've got to do all these wrapping of the bundles, and, you know, they just take a little bit more work. And at the moment, because of the backlog that I've got, I'm thinking if I just get through them, and then if I have to go back through and remake some bundles later on, I think that's probably going to be better for me. Right. Oh, okay. Now I thought we'd talk about confidence a little bit today. It's been on my mind. Two reasons it's been on my mind. I think it's come up a couple of times recently in conversation for me with people. Firstly, it actually came up with my youngest daughter, who's only 15, Maisie. And she was talking to me in the car the other week, and she made like a comment how she wanted to try and get better at being confident. And I just thought that was such a, I was actually really proud of her, because I was like, that's such a, so self-aware for a 15-year-old to actually realize that if you're a confident person, that it can benefit you in life. And Maisie's older sister, my oldest daughter, Kayla, she is a very confident girl. And Maisie watches her confidence, and I think she's very aware of how it benefits her being confident, if that makes sense. So yeah, I really love that Maisie kind of mentioned that, because now it's brought up, like we can have more conversations about it, and I got to talk to her about how it's a skill and stuff. And the other place I heard it was in the tech and sports group the other week, where somebody said that they were really uncomfortable kind of like putting themselves out there in public, and they're really uncomfortable with trying to build business relationships to help them get deals. And I thought that's really important. Like, you really do have to have a level of confidence to put yourself out there and try and get these business deals, because business is about building relationships. And to really grow your business, you have to build business relationships with people, because once you start doing that, so much more opportunity starts to flow, deals start coming your way. And like, I can't tell you how important it is to work on your skills at building relationships with your local charity shops, with anyone that you can source from. Like, it's just so important. So that came up there. And then another conversation I had with just one of my girlfriends, and we'd gone out for dinner, and she said to me, I could never do what you're doing. She said, I would just be so embarrassed. She said, I'd feel so embarrassed and so fearful of people judging me and talking about me behind my back and what they were saying about me. And she said, I'd be so fearful. I'd be so fearful of that. Like, I couldn't do it. I could never do what you do. And I thought to myself, I could never do what she does. She works in the public service and with the government, and you know, she sits there probably entering. I'm not sure 100% what she does. Probably spreadsheets and, you know, liaises with all these big government officials, and I don't think I could do that. But it's possibly because I probably wouldn't enjoy what she's doing so much. Do you know what I mean? But I just thought it's so interesting that we sometimes look at other people and are like, I could never do what you're doing because I'm so fearful. And I thought, sometimes when you're in this kind of line of business, people can assume really that like I might be really, really confident. No, I don't think I'm that much. I'm more of a confident person than I was. I will say that. I am far more confident than I ever was. At this stage of my life, I'm more confident than I've ever been. And that's something that I'm quite proud of, actually. But I've not always been a confident person. In fact, I've been the opposite. I've been quite introverted, quite shy throughout my life, through my childhood, especially through my younger years, primary school. Gained a little bit more confidence maybe around year 10 as I gained skills going to work at McDonald's, meeting new people that were outside of my school zone, meeting boys, gained a little bit more confident, you know. But I wouldn't say that I've ever been an overly confident person, but I do have a personality that comes out quite often. And I can overtalk and I can have verbal diarrhea, and sometimes that's part of me being anxious and nervous. I can go into like a situation where there's people that I don't know and and then don't worry guys, I leave those situations with anxiety going through my head, like, what did I say? Oh my God, did I make a fool out of myself? I can't believe I told them that. Why did I share all that? So don't always think that somebody who's just out there who appears confident is actually confident. So being confident, it's not about being fearless. Confident people aren't fearless. They've still got insecurities as well. They're still insecure at times. But it's about showing up and doing something, or showing up and trying something. And you can be a confident, you can be confident person and not feel confident, if you know what I mean. I guess it's maybe that fake it till you make it. But you can go into a room and nobody knows how you feel inside. Do you know what I mean? Nobody knows how you feel inside. So you can walk into a room and stand tall and feel confident. And not feel confident. You can walk into the room and you can stand tall and you can go in there and make out you're confident. It doesn't mean you feel confident, right? But you can learn that skill just like any other skill. You can practice it and you can just keep repetition. You know, anything you do on repetition makes you better at something, and confidence is just a skill. So don't always assume that the person who's walking into the room like the most confident person is actually feeling confident. They can be totally not feeling confident. I'll give you an example as well. Like when I went to America last year and I was going to the FlipCon conference, and I was so nervous about going in there. And so the night that we got there, and I was with Paul the Philly Flipper, and I'd traveled with him. So I had like a security blanket. I had a friend, do you know what I mean? So we got there the night before and I was still really nervous to like start meeting people. But the morning of the actual conference that FlipCon started, when everybody had kind of arrived, I honestly felt sick. I was so nervous and worried that I'd get to this big conference and I'd come all the way from Australia to America, and then no one would want to talk to me, and I would be sitting in the back of the room like so awkward and like uncomfortable. And then I had to get up and like do a speech, a presentation at FlipCon. I did it with Matt the Aussie Flipper, which was a relief, because having somebody else to do something with can sometimes relieve your nerves. But I was so nervous having to get up and talk into that room of, I don't know how many people were in there, a couple hundred people were at FlipCon. I was so nervous to get into that room and have to talk to all these people. Yet here I come on the camera and can speak to, I've had videos that have a couple 100,000 people. When we think of that, it's like a stadium. You know, like I looked at the Taylor Swift concert with 85,000 people and I thought, oh my God, I've had videos that have had more people than this entire stadium watch them. But going into a room with like 100, 200 people, oh my goodness, I did not feel confident at all. And I had to get up on that stage, and I guess people assume that I'm confident because I'm on YouTube and I'm talking to you quite now like I'm fairly confident, like because it's not that I'm necessarily confident. I'm used to getting here now and talking to you on front of the camera. I'm used to talking to myself. It's not necessarily that I'm super confident. I'm still nervous when I put the videos out, like, ooh, what are people going to say about me? And, you know, I open my whole world up to being criticized, which I guess is what my friend was saying. She could never do that. She would be fearful of being criticized, I guess, and having other people's opinions on yourself. And I get that. I think if I was to think back about it, if I was doing this in my 20s or 30s when I wasn't so much of a confident person, I'm not sure I could do this like what I do now on YouTube. I would have been worried about being judged. I think I would have been. Whereas like now, once I got to my 40s, it's just kind of like I don't know what it is. You become a little bit more fearless when you're in your 40s. Even though my friend was in her 40s, not fearless. So, I don't know. I have become a little bit more fearless in my 40s, and I don't care so much anymore what other people think of me. I just feel like if I worry all the time about what people think of me, then I end up missing out on opportunities and things that I would never have got to experience if I had worried about what people were thinking about me. And I think if I think of all the experiences that doing YouTube and all the doors that have been opened for me since doing YouTube, putting myself out there, and you know, I've been able to, I've traveled to America, I've met people from all over the world. I've got so much from doing this YouTube channel that I'll be forever grateful at how it's made me grow as a person. And it's, you know, I get to look at my flaws and I get to look at my strengths, but I get to look at my flaws and my strength all the time because I feel myself. And doing that helps me, I would say it helps me grow, helps me reflect, helps me be self-aware, and it's just helped me in life in general. So I feel very, very grateful. But confidence is a skill, and it's a skill that you can learn. There's no reason why anybody can't learn how to be a more confident person. I don't think you're just born confident. I think it's a skill that you watch and you learn from other people. So, you know, I would say that if you're a parent and you're both very confident people, and your kids grow up and they get to witness that, then it's probably quite likely that your kids are going to be a little bit more confident to start with, because they're being surrounded by that kind of upbringing. But anybody can learn confidence, and it's about practicing. And you know, practice makes perfect. And when you do things, like you think about when you started cooking for the first time, I bet you weren't amazing at it. Even me, I'm not a very good baker of sweet goods. I'm sure if I practiced, I would feel more confident in baking sweet goods. I don't practice enough to feel confident about making like a beautiful fluffy cake. I feel like my cake's going to be the one with the sunken middle. But if I was baking cakes every week and practicing my cake skills and practicing my oven temperature skills and doing all the work, then guess what? I'm pretty sure if someone said, Mel, can you bake a cake? I would be like, yes, I feel more confident in going to bake a cake. Whereas right now, if someone said to me, Mel, can you bake me a cake? I'll be like, well, I can go up to the local supermarket or cake shop and buy one, because I wouldn't be that skilled. But, you know, somebody said to me, Mel, you know, we're having a group dinner, can you bring a lasagna? I'd be like, no worries, of course I can. I love making lasagna. So I think, you know, none of us we're not good at things always when we start driving a car. When we learn to drive a car, we're not confident. You know, now when we drive a car, It's like second nature. We just get in the car, we don't even think about it. Same as riding a bike or anything like that. Same as reselling. Look at me here. Do I feel unconfident taking photos for eBay? No, because I've done it a million times. I feel so confident that I don't even have to think about it. In fact, I could talk to you the whole time I do it and not have to think about anything because I'm confident in how I take photos. So just, you know, this isn't here to teach you how to be a confident person. Like, I honestly think confidence is a skill like any other skill, and the more you practice being confident, the more you can. But I do 100% think the more confident you are, the more you will succeed in your business, and the more your business will be able to grow because of it. And the more relationships you will be able to build in business, the more friendships, the more connections, the more people you know, the more good things will come your way. Whereas if you're just unconfident and hide away in your basement and don't talk to anyone and don't make connections, don't think that those deals are all just going to fall in your lap. They don't. Deals fall in your lap because of who you know and how you treat people. So one idea that I was telling the person in the Patreon group the other night about how to practice being more confident is by complimenting people. When you meet people for the first time, if you're not used to like making conversation or trying to make friends with people, or you gotta almost make friends with someone before you can hit them up for a deal. Like, you can't walk into your local charity store, right? Say you're a clothing seller, whatever. You can't just walk into your local clothing seller, they've never seen your face before, and expect them to make a deal with you. That's not how it works, right? You go in there, you make yourself known. How do you make yourself known? You have to make yourself be remembered. How do you make yourself be remembered? You be kind. You go in there, you chit-chat, you be kind, you tell a story that they might remember, or you compliment, right? So I'll give you an example. When I was at the cafe the other week and there's a girl there and she's a young girl. I really like this young girl. And in fact, I'd like her to come work for me. And she has very pretty nails. And I complimented her when she bought the coffee. Oh my goodness, your nails look so pretty, right? It was a genuine compliment. Her nails did look pretty. I don't have any nails. So when I see somebody with nice nails, I'm jealous of their nice nails. I don't get nice nails in this business. I can't keep them. They don't grow. Anyway, once I complimented her about her nails, I was her best friend. She starts telling me where I bought these nails at Kmart. They're only $8. They just press on, they stick on. Look, they come in all these different patterns. She's telling me all about these nails, right? She brought a big smile to her face. Straight away opened up a conversation from her, from me simply saying, I like your nails look pretty, or I like your pretty nails, or something, right? I only said a few words, but it sparked an immediate conversation from her. Next time we went into the cafe, that girl's face lit up when she saw Tom and I walk in. Her face absolutely lit up like, yes, the nice customers are here. So, that day as well, I saw what a difference it made to her. The next day, that same day, complimented her on her coffee the next day. Thank you so much for making the coffee. It was great coffee, And straight away, she's happy again, So now what happens is, who does she remember coming into that cafe every day? She could have multiple same customers coming in, but if somebody's just coming in cranky or nothing, like neutral, they're just another customer of the day. They're not really going to remember, are they? But she remembered me because I complimented her. And you can do this at any of the charity shops that you go into. There's a lot of elderly people that work into the charity shops, and I don't know about you, but like, my granny was the most complimentary woman that I've ever come across in my whole life. Whenever we would go see my granny, she would tell us how lovely we looked, our hair looked nice, my makeup looked good, she liked my outfit, I looked skinny today, like whatever granny wanted to tell me, she always complimented. To the boys, oh, you look so handsome, your hair looks nice, oh, I like that shirt. Constantly complimenting. That generation did that a little bit more than I think we do in this generation. I think we're all a little bit so damn busy that we forget that, you know, we forget to compliment to people. We forget to even like look at people. You know, we just go about our days. Everyone's so busy. Let's get our coffee. Let's get out of here. We're done, right? So I think that when you actually compliment someone, you stand out amongst the crowd. So you start going into your local charity shops and you start having friendly conversations with the workers like they're your friends, right? Have some conversations. Take them in a packet of shortbread. Tell them that their hair looks nice. Tell them that the color that they're wearing on their top suits them. Like, you don't have to make it creepy. Don't make it creepy. Do you know what I mean? You could tell them that they've done great at something, or thank you for the great fast service, or thanks for making it easy, or instead of complimenting them, compliment the store. Oh, this store is one of the cleanest charity shops that I've been in. You know, start telling them this stuff. They start remembering you. You start building these relationships with them. And that's how it all starts. So that's my thoughts on that. Confidence doesn't come before action. Confidence doesn't come before action. Confidence comes after taking action, right? You take action, you become more confident. The more you do it, the more repetition, the better you get at it. So yeah, that's my little TED talk. But I was really proud of my youngest one for kind of like acknowledging that that's a skill she wants to learn at and be better at it, and acknowledging the fact that she's not great at that skill. And I think this is the thing, because like when we're not great at it, we focus too much on the skills that we're not good at. And then if there's something that we're not good at and we go out and try, we feel a bit like we're an imposter, and then we can get imposter syndrome. But I think we just focus too much on the things that we're bad at, instead of focusing on either getting better at things, learning new things, or you know, just trying. How many opportunities have you missed in your life from not taking a chance at something new because you were too shy, because you held back, or you didn't put your hand up to have a go? Oh no, I'll let someone else put their hand up and answer that question. Or, you know, I don't like flying very much. I'm not very confident flying, but if I didn't get over that, I wouldn't have been able to go on a lot of experiences that I've been on. So, you know, it's just everything. I just do think that not only in your personal life, but in your business life, it makes a massive difference the more confident you are. Okay, I'm going to do one more and then I'm going to drop these over to the shelf. Okay, I had to pause for a second because they were whippersnipping all the grass out there. I was like, that'd be right. So they've been whippersnipping the grass, but I wouldn't be surprised if they get the lawnmower out in a minute. Next minute I'll hear the lawnmower out there. So we'll keep going while I can, while it's quiet. Where are we? Somebody asked me in my last video when I was photographing, actually, like, do I upload these photos straight into eBay, or what am I doing with them? And I'm like, what I do with my photos is I take all the photos here just on the camera roll, and then I airdrop them. I use Macs. I've got a Mac computer here. I've got a Mac computer at home, and I airdrop the photos to the Mac, and then I list from the photos. I have tried doing listings before where I like draft them and then put the photos in afterwards, and it's so much slower and it's like double handling, and I just don't do it. So I literally open up my folder of photos, look at the books, look at whatever it is next, and I just list. And so I just list in order that the photos are. So whatever order, and then once I've listed them, I delete them from my computer. They're gone. So I know that I've already listed those and they're done. And as soon as they're airdropped from my phone to the desktop, I delete from my phone so that I don't run out of storage. Right. Let me take this lot over. Oh, maybe halfway through the bundles. Oh, so all those books, there's only 9 listings. So you can see when you do bundles, you know, that takes up nearly half a shelf. Do you know what I mean? And it's only like 9 listings. I think I can hear the mower. If I can hear the mower, I'm going to keep photographing these bundles. And then hopefully that by the time they're finished, I've finished the bundles. And we'll get back talking, and I'll be doing the gardening books. The mower seems to have stopped, or at least it's gone up the other end of the warehouse. Not right outside my concrete wall here. Right as I'm on my last bundle. I'm sweating. It's getting quite hot in here in the afternoons. I probably should be in shorts, and I'm in long pants today. And I do have a fan that I do put on me when I'm working. But I don't use the fan when I'm filming, just because of the noise. Might put you to sleep if I've got the fan on. Does anybody like listening to a fan when they go to bed at night? I like the fan on. Tom likes the fan on. And sometimes if I'm anxious before I go to bed, which I haven't been anxious lately before I go to bed, but if I am, I've got like there's a YouTube video that just like goes for like 12 hours or something. It just sounds like a fan. It's like a white noise. I don't know, but it just sounds like a fan going. And sometimes I put that on, like if I'm having trouble going to sleep and I don't actually have a fan because I don't need a fan blowing cold air on me, I will put the sound of the fan on. So yeah, I don't want to put the fan on here because I might put you all to sleep. Oh, okay, let's get some of these gardening books. These books are big, they're heavy, and there's a lot of them. I think there's some okay gardening books here, and I think I probably will make profit on these ones. It'll be interesting to see how fast I can sell them, but I'm definitely about to flood some listing this week with gardening books. Yeah, a whole heap of gardening books all going in one after the other. Oh, flood the gardening market. Okay. Now that's a little one. Ugh. Just want to do, because these are big books, there'll be like 2 stacks of big ones with a stack of more medium-sized ones in between. So filling up a shelf, I want to make sure, this is why I've got the books stacked into piles, guys. So these books are all like the same size, and then these books are all stacked the same size. And the reason I do that is because I can't fit 3 like on the shelves. I can't fit easily like 3 of these stacks on one shelf. They're it's a little bit too tight to be easily able to pick them. So what I do is I have like one of the bigger ones, and then like a smaller one, like even like this, you know, in the middle, and then the bigger stack again on that side. So what I do is I try, and when I'm sorting my books, try to make piles of books where I think, okay, these books will go in the middle stack and these ones will go on the out of stacks. So yeah. You've got to have a mixture. Oh, I've got 2 more bundles of Meals and Boons sitting down here. That's annoying. Whoa. Oh, I feel rushed today. I can't explain it. I just feel like I've got so much to do and so little time, and I've been pulling like 10-hour days, 12-hour days, and I still feel like I'm getting at the end of the night and thinking I haven't got enough done. And I don't mind that because I'm in a state of mind where I feel like I'm okay at the moment to hustle. Once I start to feel a bit tired again, I'll pull back and have like some time off or whatever I need to do. I don't want to go back into like a full burnout or anything. But while I've got the energy, and I do have energy back at the moment, and every second week when I'm out here more at the warehouses, I've got those longer hours that I can stay here and get stuff done. But yeah, it's definitely, I definitely feel like I've got more to do than I've got time. And I know Tom would just say, get a staff member, Mel. It's time to get a staff member. And I would like a staff member to help me with these photos, but everything happens in good time, doesn't it? Now, what shelf are these going on? Let me have a look. Right, I think I'm going to do D14. Someone asked me before in the other video a couple days ago, whenever it was, how do I know where the books go? I write it on the SKU. I write the shelf there. Try to do one shelf with bulk listings at a time. So these are going on to D14. So after I photograph each book, I take a photo of the post-it note, and then it goes here and goes on to D14. And because I'm listing from the photos on the desktop straight away, after each book, the listing is there. So I'm listing each book and I'm putting that SKU detail straight into the listing as I'm listing it. It's all very streamlined and easy, and it works really well. And like I've got this little post-it note up here, if you've noticed, it says ACC, which is shortened for acceptable. And that just means if I think the book is only in acceptable condition, then I will take a photo of the post-it note after I take a photo of the SKU number, and that will remind me to list the book that it's only in acceptable condition. And otherwise, I list all my books in good condition. So the only ones that will get listed in acceptable condition is if I've taken a photo of that. So, yeah, some of those like Meals and Boon, the old vintage ones, they get marked down as acceptable because quite often they've got stickers on them, or they've got pen writing, they've got names, or they've got, I don't know why, but the Meals and Boon have got like a lot of texture, like thick black texture written on the front. I don't know why. And the other reason a book might get marked acceptable is if it's got like handwriting like that, because according to eBay's policy rules, a book that's got pen inside it should be graded as acceptable. If pen, not pencil, pen. So like this one, because that's got quite a bit of text there, it's also got quite a bit of discoloration here. I'm going to grade that book in acceptable condition. And also when I'm listing a book that's in acceptable condition, I might also price it down like a couple of dollars as well to make it, especially if there's like a heap of other ones listed and they're all in good condition and mine's not as in, well, I can't compete with them, can I? If there's a whole lot of good ones for $24 and mine's only in acceptable condition with pen and stuff, well, I'm not going to make mine $24 as well. I'm going to grade it down a bit, maybe to $20. And then somebody who doesn't care about the condition, and there are a lot of people that aren't fussed on the condition. They don't mind if it's acceptable. They don't mind if it's got pen in it. I don't know if I want that one. That one I just did. I try and take notes. See, that one I just did. It was the first book I photographed. It's exactly the same book, right? Because in these cages, there's multiple books, quite often the same book, right? But what I want to avoid is having two books the same on each shelf. So I really try, I try not to put them on the same shelf. So that one there, I'll set it aside until I start doing another shelf. And most of the time I don't end up with the same book on shelves. It's it just doesn't happen all that often. But like for now, like because I know that there's multiple books here in this lot that are exactly the same, which is fine. That makes it really simple listing for me as well. I can just sell similar and do it very quickly. But because of that, because I know that that book's already there, I'm not going to put it on the same shelf. And the reason for that is when the book sells, if I have the same book, 2 books on the same shelf, how do I have to go back into the listing and like try and look at the photo to make sure I've got the right one, because they could be almost exactly the same, but there could be just a slight difference. You know, there could be a slight difference. One may have a sticker on the back of it. One may have pen in it. You know, one might have some foxing or marks down the side of the side bits here, like some pen or something. So you don't want to be giving the wrong book. So that's why I do that. You know, I was thinking about that confidence again. And one thing I think that you need to team with confidence is resilience. Because just because you be confident and try something new doesn't mean it's going to work or be amazing. It's, you know, you might have to do something multiple times, but you kind of like resilience. I would say that teams up with confidence, doesn't it? You have to be confident enough to try new things, and then you have to be resilient enough to bounce back after trying something that maybe didn't get the results that you were after, or didn't work as well, or didn't give you the results, or whatever. Like, you tried something, just because maybe something failed as well doesn't mean you're a failure. It just means that wasn't right, didn't work. Okay, move on to the next thing. But you do need to be able to bounce back from that and not just go, oh my God, I tried and it didn't work, or I was so embarrassed and I'm never going to do that again. No, you need to be able to go, shake it off. What does Taylor Swift say? Shake it off, shake it off. You've got to be able to shake things off in life and pick yourself back up. And, you know, you can see I do that in these videos. I probably look like a fool sometimes, like I'm running an absolute shit show in here. And, you know, I can't be worried all the time what everyone's thinking of me, or not everyone's going to like my videos or want to watch me or whatever. That's fine. I don't expect that. I don't like watching everybody. Not everybody's my flavour. So I just, you know, if I read negative things about myself, which happens, I can't stress about it. I just like, what do I do? I either stress over all the negative things and then don't keep going, and then miss out on all the good things that come from when I do things. So, yeah. All I will say is, if there's something that you've been wanting to try and you've been too scared, you know, just try it. It probably won't be as bad. Once you've done it, like, always think to yourself, like my friend James, he's YouTuber in the UK, Bold Finds. Shout out to Bold Finds. Give him a follow. I love James. And, you know, James said the other day, like, he procrastinates on putting new videos out because he's fearful of getting low views. And so we talked about it, and I was like, okay, so you're just procrastinating. We all do it. What's the worst thing that you can happen? You know, what's the worst thing if you put a video out that can happen? And he said, the worst thing is I get no views. I'm like, okay. And then what happens? You get no views. What do? Do you give up? Or do you just shake it off and go, righto, I'll go make another one and try and get views? Like, you can't just give up on things because you're fearful of the results. exhibition poultry. Okay, this must be for like showing chickens. Yep, all the different chickens to show. Some of these type of books, like, they seem a little bit odd, but because they're very niche market, like exhibition poultry breeder's handbook. Now, I don't know what that comps for. It probably only comes in at $20 or who knows, maybe less. But it's a niche market book, and I bet you that sells. I bet you it sells. Even if it doesn't make me the biggest profit ever. Now, this one's a bit... I might just set that one. It's a bit grotty. It's not dusty. It's kind of like got sticky almost. If it's dusty, I can just paint it off with the paintbrush. Paintbrush, guys. There's a tip for you. Get yourself a paintbrush. Quite often we buy books from people's collection. They've been sitting in bookcases. They get very dusty. And I just use a little paintbrush. Flick the dust around. There's a couple of these books that I cherry pick when I go out to book fairs or whatever. There's a couple of them that I've seen here that I pick up. And there's other ones that I would normally leave and not pick up. But I'm going to make these kind of easy to list for myself, because they're all like gardening. They're all on the same topic. So I can almost like set up a template when I'm listing, like a gardening book template. And then all I really need to do is change the name of the book and the author. And the rest of the template can, just to make things faster for myself when I'm doing these ones, the rest of the template can pretty much stay the same. You know, it changes between paperback or hardcover. But like the item specifics, a lot of them will stay the same. Gardening, plants. You can't judge a book by its cover. And I could double my time by sitting here comping some of these. But I've just got so many that I have to get through that I have to make very quick decisions, I think, on whether or not I'm going to keep a book or not. And that's not how I would normally work. Normally I'd be more choosy and comp things, but it's time consuming. And when you've just got the quantity that I've got, I just want to get through them. There's a heap of gardening books in there that I left, and I was like, okay, there's quite a lot of books there on roses, for example. They don't look like very high-end books on roses. So all I'm going to do is lot them together, and I'm just going to lot them all together and make a bundle about roses. And I think that's the way to go with some of them. These ones that are a little bit more specific, then yeah, they can have their... I think this book will go all right. How to Know Western Australian Wildflowers. Parts 1 and 2. I'll be interested to price this one up. Oh, I just got an offer, and it's on a gardening book. I think it's on a gardening book. Something about pet flower disease, plant diseases and stuff. Pests or whatever they call it. Something like that. I've been a bit quiet on eBay today. I don't know, like they've been having... Last week I did my biggest sales week ever, but it's kind of like hard to judge because last week, you know, everything was kind of brand new into my store. I'd ended and relisted, so everything was kind of spiked up in the algorithm. I also had quite a lot of viewer sales supporting me, more than normal. So the sales were great last week. Like I said, best sales week I've ever had in my life. But today it feels very few and far between the sales. So I don't think today's going to be a very good sales day. Now let me know in the comments, bud, if you've been listening. Do you suffer with feeling not confident in your eBay business? And maybe like thinking about that and acknowledging it and being self-aware that you actually struggle with that? And that how can you start to gain more confidence in your eBay business or your whatever business you do, or your personal life or your YouTube. Thanks for listening to my TED Talk today, Mel's TED Talks. I hope you got some work done as well. I'm off. Bye.